Greetings and welcome to another Smashing Pistons video. Today I am tethered to a wire. It's not because I'm a baby or anything like that. It's not like a harness to stop me running off, even though I am wearing dungarees, so that could be quite confusing, I suppose. But today we're back at the Great British Car Journey. Just imagine there's a sign there that says Great British Car Journey. And I'm going to be testing a rather nice little sporty number. I shall be popping my cherry with Dave's assistance. Car speaking, obviously.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.
So here we are, and we're going to have a bit of an experience in a 205 CTI, CTI no less, not a GTI, CTI. This one here. So it is a 1.6, same guise as the GTI 1.6, and it is a 1988 model. I'll do some look around shots, and I'll talk about it as I'm looking around it. So as you can see in this glorious British sunshine we're having today, which started off raining. It's a lovely, well, it was a red colour. It's showing a bit of the ravages of time, but having said that, I've got my sunglasses on. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks nice. It's an honest car. That's what I like about this. It's an honest car. Now I must say, the CTI isn't something that I'd ever considered. The only ones I knew about was the soft top ones. Did they call them CJs, I think? And they weren't anything special about them. They were just a rag top. But being a GTI but with a rag top kind of appeals to me, to be honest. And I'm not sure why I hadn't sort of clocked onto the existence of them before. They're very much a GTI. I mean, look, even the steering wheel is gorgeous. That is one of the nicest looking steering wheels, and the whole pod assembly is just really well sculptured. Again, this is another example of French design being a little bit quirky, but also at the same time really characterful. Obviously, yes, we've talked about it being a soft top, and it does have seat belts that come out of these little grooves here for the front seat, which is kind of cool. I'll probably not have the soft top down while I film because it'll be tray noisy, and I'll shoot separate footage of the engine just so you can see what that looks like. But what a gorgeous little thing this is, and again a cheerful, characterful, cheeky little French car. There should be more of these sorts of things on the road. There should be definitely more of these sorts of things celebrated. Yeah, the GTIs are nice, but the CTI is a GTI with extras. So if you imagine, let's imagine this: you go on holiday to France, and you meet a beautiful French lady. Let's call her Michelle, but the woman version of Michelle, not the male version of Michelle, because in France that's the name that you can have for both genders. So yeah, a French Michelle, and she's very beautiful looking. She has a very seductive tone to her voice, and she knows how to cook. But what you realise that is she's not very good in the l'amour department. Yeah, so that's Michelle. That'd be a GTI. But if you imagine another French lady, let's call this one, oh, I don't know, Audrey, the other French lady. Not Nicole, obviously, that's a different company. Audrey, and you discover that Audrey is just as beautiful looking. She's got just as a seductive French voice, and she can cook amazingly well. But she's also pretty good in the le bedroom, which is kind of what this car would be. I don't know whether I'm making an absolute nonsense comparison, Basically what I'm trying to say is your GTI is a GTI, that's great. This is a GTI with that little bit extra bonus to it. I'm not saying you should sleep with it. You miss my point completely if that's what you think I'm getting at here. I'm not saying you should sleep with this car, and I'm also not insinuating that Dave sleeps with this car either. I mean, maybe sleeping in the car, that's one thing. That's different to sleeping with the car there. Yeah, so let's have a drive around in this, see what we think of it, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to enlighten you on how characterful it is to actually drive as well. So here we are inside Dave's little 205. Let me try and shimmy the seat forward a little bit. There we go. That might be better. So let's take it for a bit of a drive and see what it's like. That was a bit gritty there. That weren't me trying to be clever. So I must remember the rev counter's on the left, on the right, and the speeder's on the left. So it's quite nippy. It's a little French sports hatch, and it's got a nice feel to it. Now obviously there's no power steering, but you can kind of get that as a good thing, to be honest. In any sort of small hot hatch type car, it's got feel. That's the important thing when you're driving a little hatchback, and it's quite rapid for what it is. So it's as I said before, it's a 1.6. It's basically a GTI but without a roof. The gear knob keeps spinning round, which takes my mind off the job in hand. So fourth gear accelerating from 40 to 50. It's lovely. It's geared really well as well. It's not undergeared or overgeared. It's spot on. So yeah, looks wise from the outside, these things look amazing. They're the perfect little hot hatch shape. Even the convertible ones. I said to Dave before I preferred the hard top. You know what? The convertible ones look just as cute with the roof up, and you've got the advantage of putting the roof down if you want. So yes, I don't think it being a soft top detracts at all. Plus the sills on the soft top ones are made from some sort of crazy thick material to stop them flexing, and yeah, it just means that they're not floppy. Like I can tell, I'm driving down here, we're going over bumps, there's no floppiness, there's no rattling when you go over undulations and stuff. The TF that I had before would rattle, and if I drove off a curb I could hear the body flexing. So yeah, there's bits and pieces on this that's already nicer. That is a really smooth engine, that, Dave. That is a really smooth engine. So interior, everything's perfect, as you would expect from a Peugeot. It's quirky. Why are these people sat at a green light? So yeah, looks of it is quite quirky. The little knobs and stuff have all got little dimples on the buttons and stuff. It's got a nice little quirky nature to it. The sills are quite high up on the side of the doors. I didn't realise that before. There's lots of little cool bits to it. So let's carry on down here and we'll turn round and we'll put the roof down. So the performance is quite nippy. It's got quite a lot of pep to it. It is injection, but it's obviously old school injection with it being an 88. So yeah, it's very nice. And it handles well. It goes around corners really well. It's flat. It's flat, not modern car flat, like you would in a Fiesta ST or whatever. But it's nice. It's just a lovely little go-kart. Yes, it's very pointy. I might have turning somewhere around here, so I better be careful that I don't get distracted by things like that. New Bath Road we're on. Let's go up to the top here and turn around and see what it is. This is a good test for the suspension. It's full of potholes. I suppose we could just pull up in this car park here. Oh, there's a little MG in there. Oh. Right, we'll park it in the shade here. And we'll put roof down and see how easy that is. It looked very easy when Dave did it, so let me put microphone somewhere else, like here, and we'll have a go. So according to Dave, put this bit down, press a button, pull this lever out, press a button, pull this lever out, make sure aerial's not in way. And that's how you put the roof down. So we'll stop it there. I'll change camera angles and then we'll go again. It's got a Ford immobiliser. Which is a random thing. There we go. It does sound kind of nice though, doesn't it? So now we've got the top down, let's see what it's like I'm driving topless. In fact, I'll put this window up to try and limit the noise. I'm already used to the no power steering, which is weird. And in typical old injection style, which is a common thing with injections actually, it's difficult for them to have a smooth take up. It's a lot easier to get carbs to have a smooth take up, but it's harder to get carbs to fuel throughout the rev range, which is the advantage of injection, is that you can get better performance throughout. There's a lot of fun to be had in this car, I'll tell you that. Again, I'm looking at the rev counter instead of the speeder, Simon. Stop doing that. There we go. So 5 gears as well is a lovely thing to have. So we had interior, so we'll have revisit that. Top down, this is lovely. Oh, this is a lovely place to be. You know what? It's not. If we had the top down than a TF, this would be quite windy. But this is nothing like that. This is nothing like it. This is really civilized. Really civilized top-down motoring. I'm quite impressed by that. I think because the windscreen's at such a steeper angle, where the TF is quite low, you get more of a windbreak. But I suppose you'd also get more buffeting if we didn't have the windows down. I need to get used to this gearbox though. I'm not very good with this gearbox, Dave. This is the colour that the outside should be, if you can see any of the inside, so it has faded a bit on the outside. There's a little cubby hole here as well that you can put your boson in. Right, we're off. Yeah, you can tell on low revs it's a bit jumpy. But when you get moving, it's delightful. Apart from me missing a couple of gear changes. So 30 to 50 in third. Yes. Yeah. Suitable. Very suitable. It handles really well. I'm going to say it handles really well. And I know I've already said that. And I'm saying it again, it handles really well. I'm surprised. I am honestly surprised. Yeah. I mean, I suppose this is the counterpart to Gen Z. Gen Z is a 216 SI, which isn't the sports model, obviously. But now she's been lowered and she's got a stupid exhaust and air filter on. I feel that she's trying to punch into this league of GTI-ness. And I think Gen Z's about here with performance maybe, but this wins out on chassis. I think to me this chassis is really well composed over bumps, and when you go into corners, it doesn't tip you about. So if you push through in a corner, it's there, you can feel it. It does move about a bit, but you can feel what it's doing, and that's the crucial thing that you need on a hot hatch, is feeling. If you don't have feeling, you can't exploit it. And if you're not exploiting a hot hatch, then why have you got a hot hatch? Although that brings up another conundrum, dear viewer. Is this a hot hatch because it isn't a hatchback? It's a saloon car. Much in the same way that the original Mini isn't a hatchback, it's a saloon. The boot is a boot and that's it. It doesn't lift up the rear glass. It's literally just that. It's just the boot. So the original Mini is a saloon, and this also is a saloon car. See, we're doing 50 here on a fairly average road. And then the non-power steering, I thought I'd notice it more, but I honestly, it's just second nature. Once you've been in it for a couple of seconds, you notice it, and it also makes it really easy to position on the road. I mean, I can tell I'm doing this now, and there is a bit of lean on it, but if that lean weren't there, you wouldn't have that complicity. Oh, there's a big word. It's just ready to pick up as well at any revs. It does feel a lot like Gen Z. And I am genuinely surprised just how civilized it is with the roof down. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed, Dave. You have impressed me, young Dave. Your car has impressed me. I wonder if I'm actually on in the middle of the frame on this camera. I've not even checked that. If not, you'll just have to listen to my while you just see my ear or something. So we're up to them S-bends again. Let's do this one instead. Let's try and give these people some space, and we'll do it in a second. I think it enjoys that kind of driving. It's got a beautiful manner in which it accelerates. It has a beautiful manner in the way it accelerates. That makes more sense, Simon. Use them words. I could almost imagine myself flying along a road in France on my way to see Audrey, because I'm not going back to that Michelle's. She's crap in bed. Audrey's where it's at. Like Audrey Hepburn. That's it. I can imagine me winding my way through roads in France, speeding on my way to see Audrey Hepburn, but obviously not the age she would have been in '88. But she was more of a thing in the '60s, right? Let's have a time warp. Audrey Hepburn, that's where I'm going. If this makes any sense to any of you watching, you're better people than me. So yes, it's perfect for those little twisty roads around France. In fact, this would be a good car to go to France in. We should do that. We should organise a trip to France. We'll pick Alex up on way. We'll get Simone to meet us somewhere, and we'll all drive across to France. We could do that. We could do a YouTuber's holiday. We could hire a place, maybe the same place we stayed at before. Somebody remind me, one of my many channel secretaries, to look into that. That might be quite a good thing to do, book a YouTuber's holiday. Upstairs for thinking, downstairs for tying your shoelaces. Right, we're back at Great British Car Journey now. Which means is the final test. Non-power steering round this roundabout. Oh. Yeah, you notice power steering, or the lack of, when you do that kind of thing. But apart from that, it's beautiful. That's a loud horn. Right, let's see if I can park it. So this way, lift that up. Oh God. And then into that crunchy gear. See how close to it back we can get. And there we are. Job done. Let's do a conclusion right here. So, lips, looks, out of 5, strong 4.5, a strong 4.5. A Renault 5 Turbo would get 5. That's the pinnacle we're aiming for. Interior, I do like Peugeot interiors. and especially 80s Peugeot interiors, everything's got a nice angle on it, and it's just, like I said before, it's just a bit quirky. Everything's just a bit quirky and very 80s looking. So yeah, again, a 4 for that. Performance, very respectable for what it is. I can imagine that the 1.9s have got a bit more pull, but there's plenty in this. You don't need more than that. It's not a sports car, it's not a racing car, it's a small sort of hot hatch soft top for going around and enjoying summer, which is very much is today. It's very much summer. So yeah, it's got exactly what it needs. 5 for that. And score I never give, so there we go, that's the end of that. So thank you for watching another Smashing Pistons amazing video that you will no doubt tell all your friends and family about, and get them to subscribe and become members, because if you are a member of Smashing Pistons, it means you get to watch shit videos like this days before the general public get to watch shit videos like this. So I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, leave a comment, share with your friends, share with your enemies, embrace the car and YouTube community. What was the other one? There was another one. Do that other one as well, and take care. Bye. Oh, I'm so self-deprecating.